thank you again for joining us. We're delighted to have today one of the authors of your textbook. The textbook we're using here for the class is the Letters to the Colossians and to Philemon, and it's the second edition now in the Pillar New Testament Commentary series. I want to remind you, and we'll maybe share this video with others later, so they might want to know, on the Eerdmans website, you can get this commentary or any of the Pillar commentaries for 40% off through the end of February using the discount code PNTC40. So capital PNTC for Pillar New Testament Commentary 40 at the Eerdmans website. We'll give you 40% off this commentary or any of the others in the Pillar series. Dr. Moo, as we were chatting before the official start of our talk here, he retired from Wheaton College. Now I just found out lives in Phoenix. He's still classified as Professor Emeritus there of Biblical Studies at Wheaton College, taught for 24 years at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School. I first became aware of your work, Dr. Moo, when I was an undergrad at Duke University and was struggling through some issues of inerrancy and reliability of the Bible. And my Greek teacher was Peter Denton, Chip Denton, who had studied at TEDS. And he pointed me towards an essay of yours in the book, Hermeneutics, Authority, and Canon. And then later, I studied under Mark Seifert and used your Romans commentary in that class. And then eventually was teaching some on my own using your commentary on James as one of the textbooks. So even though we've maybe only spoken in passing at meetings, I've been greatly influenced by your scholarship. I'm so grateful.
Yeah. Thank you.
So an opening question is, I have both. Here's the first edition and the second edition. But what are some of the main changes between the first and second edition? And should someone buy the second edition if they have the first?
Let me try to be absolutely honest about that. I'm not sure you absolutely need the second edition if you have the first. I haven't made many changes in terms of my interpretation of the letter. However, I think I did improve the style quite a lot, so I think it's a little easier read, a little clearer maybe now. I also included a full bibliography this time, and I'm not sure why we didn't do that in the first edition, but I find that very cumbersome if I see a reference in a footnote and I want to see what the full book is. If you don't have a bibliography, it's a little hard to track down, so there is a full bibliography in the book now. I did back off a little bit from the idea that Paul in Colossae is fighting one coherent philosophy or teaching. I was influenced here by the dissertation of Adam Copenhaver, who argues that we don't need to think that Paul is combating only a single outlook, that there might be multiple threads to this teaching he's dealing with. And I thought that made a certain amount of sense. So that does affect my interpretation here and there. But again, to go back to your question, while I would love to have the royalties, I'm not sure that if you have the first edition, you absolutely need the second.
Yeah. One thing that jumped out at me is I think in the first edition, that was in the period where the TNIV had just come out. So all the scriptures were, so then that might be a little distracting to someone who doesn't have the TNIV. It's better maybe just to have a widespread used.
That's a good point. I should have mentioned that. Yes. So now the commentary is built on the 2011 NIV. Yes.
Yeah. Very good. Also, I know you've served on the Committee of Bible Translation for the NIV for a long time. I think you're still serving on the committee. And the NIV was the most influential translation for me when I was in college. That's what I learned that's what I memorized. That's what I used in Bible studies with InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. And I'm curious about your reflections there about serving on that committee and what duties were you assigned certain books or what you did on the NIV translation committee?
Yeah, I've been on the committee since 1996. I was chair for 15 years, and as part of my semi-retirement, I have stepped down as chair, but I'm still on the committee now. I love that work. It's one of the favorite ministries that I've been able to be part of. 15 scholars sitting around a table trying to figure out what the text means and how to say it in English. It's just really a joy. And in terms of assignments, we all handle everything. I think that's one of the virtues of the way we work. So Old Testament, New Testament scholars, all of us together working on every part of the Bible. And I think that gives us a little more insight into what we're doing that way.